You know how you check your bank account, right? You track what's coming in, what's going out, where your money's invested. But have you ever stopped to think about how an entire country does that? I mean, how does a nation keep tabs on every single dollar, euro, or yen that crosses its borders?
Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to demystify one of the most important economic scorecards out there, the balance of payments. Now, it might sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it's a super powerful lens for understanding the global economy and how it actually affects you.
So, at its heart, the balance of payments really just answers one big question. Where is a country's money coming from, and where in the world is it all going? Let's break it down.
Okay, so for the official definition, the balance of payments, or BoP for short, is the complete record of every economic deal between one country and, well, everybody else. We're talking every car that gets exported, every phone that's imported, every foreign investment that's made. Yep, it's all tracked right here. And honestly, if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. The BoP is, quite simply, a country's bank statement. It shows all the credits, that's the money coming in, and all the debits, the money going out. It's the clearest way to see if a country is, financially speaking, living within its means on the global stage.
Now, this huge national bank statement isn't just one big, messy list. No, it's neatly broken down into two main accounts, and each one tells a really different and important story about what's going on in that country's economy.
So you've got two main buckets here. First up is the current account. This mostly tracks trade, the buying and selling of goods and services. Then you have the financial account, which is all about investments, things like foreigners buying local stocks or domestic companies building new factories overseas.
And here's the key thing you gotta know. When a country has a current account surplus, it means it's earning more money from the world through things like exports than it's spending on imports. A deficit? Well, you guessed it. It's the exact opposite. It's spending more than it's earning. Okay, so that's the what. But now for the big question. Why on earth should you care about any of this? Because these numbers aren't just figures in some dusty report. They have very, very real consequences for your wallet, your investments, and your whole financial world.
And this is where it really gets personal. For instance, if a country keeps running a deficit, it means it constantly needs more foreign cash than it's bringing in. Over time, that can really weaken its currency. All of a sudden, that vacation you were planning just got a lot more expensive. Or, huge floods of investment capital can push a central bank to change interest rates, which directly affects your mortgage payments. For anyone investing, the BoP is like a crucial health check for an entire economy. It signals either stability or some serious risk ahead. All right, enough with the theory. Let's see how this all plays out in the real world, shall we? We're going to take a quick dive into Mexico's recent performance to see these two accounts in action.
So first up, let's look at their current account. And wow, Mexico has been running a really strong surplus lately. What that means is a ton more money has been flowing into the country from its trade than has been flowing out. So what's behind that strength?
Well, this surplus was really fired up by two main engines. First, a huge boom in manufacturing exports, especially to the U.S. And second, a record-breaking amount of remittances. That's money being sent back home by Mexicans working abroad. You put those two together, and bam, a massive inflow of foreign currency.
But that's only half the story. See, on the other side of the ledger, Mexico's financial account was also on fire, thanks to huge inflows of portfolio investment. This means investors from all over the world were just pouring money into Mexican assets like stocks and bonds.
So why were they so eager to invest? It's pretty simple, actually. They could make more money. The return they could get on Mexican government bonds was just way more attractive than what they could get in other countries. That difference in interest rates, it acted like a giant magnet, just pulling in capital from all over the globe. So, when you add it all up, a booming current account surplus plus a super strong financial account, what do you get? The result was a strong and stable currency, the Mexican peso. And this wasn't just a number on a screen. It meant more buying power for people in Mexico and a clear sign of stability to the rest of the world. Trade and investment were working together to prop up its value.
Okay, let's bring this all home. Understanding the balance of payments isn't just for economists, It's a seriously practical tool that you can use to make smarter financial decisions. And this really hits the nail on the head. The BoP is not just some dry economic report, it's a strategic tool. It's like a roadmap to a country's economic health and where it's probably headed next.
So let's recap the bottom line. The balance of payments is basically your crystal ball for currency friends and a nation's overall risk profile.
It shows you exactly how a country is funded. Is it earning its keep through exports, or is it borrowing from investors? And at the end of the day, making smart financial moves means paying attention to this stuff. Because, as we saw with Mexico, when these flows shift, the whole economic landscape can change in a heartbeat.
So the next time you hear a headline about trade deficits or foreign investment, you'll know they're not just random news items. They're chapters in a much bigger story. Which really just leaves one question. What story is your country's balance of payments telling about its future?